Hello, my name is Carl Surrey and this is a video tutorial for the Facebook group called Fans of Serif Software. I'm going to be doing this tutorial for Affinity Photo, but once it has finished I'm thinking maybe how to use it in Affinity Designer as well. And the object of this tutorial is to make a new brush tip with a Bokeh offense or Bokeh. I'm not 100% certain how you pronounce it, so if I'm offending anybody by pronouncing it wrongly, I apologize in advance. But I needed a brush tip for another tutorial that I'm making. I'm looking at converting one that was made by a German chap, and he used a Bokeh brush tip, and as I didn't have one to get around this, I had to try and find a way to make one. Now, my results are probably nowhere near as good as ones properly made by professionals, but it is good enough for what I need it for, and I'm hoping that you will be able to make your own. And it is fairly not too difficult, so it's quite easy. So what we need to do is to make a new document. Now I'm going to set it up for photo, and the size is in pixels, and I have a tick in the transparent background, and I'm making the size 1500 pixels by 1500 pixels with a DPI of 192. So just going to click OK, and I'm going to make a new layer above this document panel we have set up here. So I'll just click on this icon here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this with black, not because we need it for the end result, but I just need it to be able to see the white circles that I'm going to draw on this transparent black background. So I'm going to come to the flood fill tool, make black the foreground color, and then just quickly fill that layer. So I'm going to come to the, where is it, down here, ellipse tool. There are various tools that you can use here. I think by default it normally starts off at rectangle, but ellipse is one of the options here. And I'm going to open a new layer above the black layer, and this is where we are going to draw the ellipse. I also now need white as the foreground color, and then it's jumped off of the ellipse tool. Let me go back to the ellipse tool. I don't know why it does that. It does that quite often when I've been practicing this. When I change the color, it seems to drop back to the node tool. So just if yours has done that, come back to the ellipse tool and then just draw a circle. So we now have our first circle. Now I have found that if you don't do a pixel layer above the first layer, when I come to do the ellipse or whatever, it doesn't seem to work that well. I don't know why. I don't know if it's a fault that I'm doing or whether it's a fault in the program. So once it has made that first layer, I can now delete that one. So we are now just working on this one, and if you click on the move tool, you can move it around wherever you want and resize it however you want. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to press Ctrl and J quite a few times, or you can right click and go to duplicate quite a few times. But that's quite a long process. If you're going to do this a few times, it's easier to go with Ctrl and J. So however many times you want to do it really, but 8 or 9 or 10. I'm going with 10. I mean, you won't see any difference on here because they all are all stacked up in the same position. But just click on whatever one is on the top, move it to wherever you want it to be, and now we can resize it and alter it in certain ways. So I'm going to come to a corner, hold down the Control key and make it about that size, and obviously you can make the pattern however you want it to be, and I'm just going to lower the opacity of this one down to say about 50%. So now I can click on the next one and just move it to wherever you want it to be. You can leave it the same size, or you can alter the size. You don't necessarily have to hold down the Control or the Shift key. I mean, the Shift key will preserve the aspect ratio, and the Control key will resize around the center. So I'll do this one holding the Shift key, and I'll just increase it slightly. And this one's percentage, I will keep this one fairly bright. I'm around about the 85% mark. So, you know, getting the idea. Come back to the Move tool, click on the next one, and I'll leave that one there, and I'll make this one probably the biggest one I will make, I think, and drop this below 50%. Let's go to about 35, 36, 35. There we go. So then just click on the next one. And they don't always have to overlap or even be that close to each other. I'll keep that one at 100%. I'll move this one up here. So basically just a case of going round and make this the one, the lightest one of them all. Let's make it down to 25%. How many more we got to go? Another 5 or so. So like I said, it's just a case of moving each one to where you want it to go. Have different degrees of opacity and overlap some or don't overlap some. It's completely up to you. Because no, you could do this 2 or 3 times and none will be exactly the same. Let's go with one over here somewhere. And we've got 2 left here, so put that one there. Have a sort of highish. Let's make this about 90%, that one. And this was the very first one I made. And I'll put this one here, hold down the Shift key just to resize it, and make the opacity, let's go around the 60% mark. So that is going to be my Bokeh pattern. So as the bottom one is highlighted, I'm going to just move up to the top, hold down the Shift key, click on the top one, and then that will select all of the layers in between, but leaving the bottom black layer unselected. I will right click on the top layer and come to Group. So now this will make all of these like all connected. So on the Move tool, I can move them all around wherever I want. Now this is where I'm going to hide that black layer, which is why you needed a black layer to see what's going on, because these you wouldn't be able to see these at all. You wouldn't know what was going on without that black layer. So what I'm going to do, I'll just come off of the move tool a second to get rid of the outline. So I'm now going to export this, and you need to export it as a PNG, and then from this area drop down menu come to selection without background, and then export it. As you can see, I've made two previously, so I'll call this one Bokeh 3, and then save. And then I need to come to the brush tool, or the tab anyway. By default it should be on basic, and you can make your own category by create new category, and then you'll be asked to name one, but I already have a category made which I've called PNG files, and then here I've got the two Bokeh ones that I made previously, and this is it is into this folder that I'm going to make this new Bokeh brush tip. So again, click on this top panel up here and come down to new image brush. Click on that, and it will navigate to where you've saved your PNG file, and then just click open, and any new file will start off in 64 pixels, but we can alter that. If you just double click on this, it will open up the editing box. Now I have found with these ones there is a maximum size it will go up to. It's around the 400 mark somewhere. Well, this one's going to, the ones I tried before, it wouldn't let me go higher than about 400, but I'll make it, it's probably the biggest one yet, I'll make this 700 and odd. And you can change the spacing of how close these are together, and I don't want them too close together because I want to be able to just click once to get one of these Bokeh effects. And in the dynamics range there are some alterations you can make here, but probably one of the most effective ones is luminance jitter, in which you can decrease how bright some of them will be in relation to the next one. So I'm just going to increase that slightly just by, I'll just have a go for about 20%. So if I do two or three, one after the other, without letting go of the mouse button, they will be slightly different strengths. But that's about the only other alterations I will make. I will close that, and I will just change the name of this so it's already highlighted, so I can come up to so I need to right click the actual thing and then rename brush. So what did I call these ones? Can't remember now. So if I put the cursor over that now, the name has changed. Yeah, so I've got Bokeh by Carl, Bokeh by Carl 2 and Bokeh by Carl 3. The first one I did make as a downloadable file in the file section of the Facebook group pages. So what I can do now is, if I hide this grouped layer which had all the circles on it, and I now reactivate the bottom black layer, I can demonstrate to you what this now looks like by coming to the brush tool, which is here, changing the color, making sure it's on white, and as you can see, you've got the shape there, and there you have your Bokeh brush. Now you could you can even resize this because you now come to the move tool. You could resize that to whatever size you want and change the opacity to whichever size you want, and then you could come back to the brush tool, probably better on a new layer, and you could overlap it or just put it somewhere else. Again, resize it. This time I'll make it smaller, and I'll leave the opacity as that is. So if I come back to the brush tool, you can even change the colours, because if I come to yellow, for example, oh no, that's right, I can't change the colour in this way, because with the what are they called? I've forgotten again now. Oh yeah, with image brushes, you can't change the colour when using the brush in this format, but what you can do is, if it's on the layer, whatever layer it's on, you could come down to recolor, and once you have the recolor panel open, you can change the color of the effects to alter the saturation to make how bright it will be, or change the colors to whatever color you may want it to be. So that is how you can make the bokeh effect in white or any other color that you may want. Let me just I shouldn't have merged it. There we go. So the thing you need to remember is not to merge that into the layer, but leave it as a layer above. Otherwise things may all go wrong. So if you are going to add a new color, add a new layer. So you could, let me use one of the other brushes I made there, and then I can recolor those ones to a different color, and then come back to the layers and then just mask to the one below, and it's not showing the color. Well, as you can see, I'm still learning how to use this, but you can recolor the brush tips using the adjustment recolor. Sorry, I've not completely worked out how to do it properly, but hopefully this tutorial will show you how to make a brush tip as a bokeh effect and how to use that effect. Sorry, I've mucked it up slightly, but thank you for watching and goodbye.